This is 5 on your side at 5. Focused on you.
We have a weather alert tonight. There were hazy skies across the bi-state today. Once again, wildfire smoke from Canada has made its way into our area. We are under an air quality alert through late evening. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. Our Weather First team is keeping an eye on the smoke tonight, along with some extreme heat heading our way. Meteorologist Jim Castillo starts us off tonight. Jim?
And you know, Scotty was looking at records, and we have not found a day that we were in red most of the day. So this might have been the worst air quality that St. Louis has seen. And records started in the late 90s, at least for air quality. So what we're looking at now is that air quality is improving around St. Louis. We're in orange, so that's the least better than red. But still, sensitive groups out there are, definitely breathing is difficult for some out there. All right, so air quality all day in the red. Wow, we still haven't seen that ever. And of course, what we're looking at for the next couple of days here is an orange air quality forecast for tomorrow. So that's a big issue. Plus, our heat headlines, a heat warning for actually Perry County, Missouri, then a heat advisory for the most of the rest of us. And this is why that heat dome over Texas is pushing into our area. So high temperatures tomorrow, about 100, maybe even 102 in St. Louis. And we've been watching the radar. Today maybe cooled us off slightly, still made it to 93 degrees, and you feel that mugginess in the air. And over the last about hour, we had one little shower go right through Lambert. But again, nothing severe. But feels like forecast, the temperature for tomorrow, about 105 to 111, and much more on this heat, and a chance of storms coming up in just a bit.
And the air quality is bad in our area, but look at this. Even worse in Chicago. This is what it looked like earlier. Today, that city had the worst air quality in the country. Wildfire smoke from Canada has been impacting us and other cities on and off for weeks now. Earlier this month, it turned the skies in New York City bright orange. Here are some safety tips if you struggle with the poor air quality. It's best to stay indoors if you can. Don't exercise outside. Don't count on a mask. Take extra precautions with kids. Roll up car windows and protect the air inside your home by keeping doors and windows shut.
And the air quality is not the only weather issue we are dealing with this week. Extreme heat will arrive tomorrow, as Jim mentioned, with temperatures soaring into the triple digits. Laura Barcheski is live in St. Louis. She is looking into what is being done to protect people who are the most vulnerable. I know there are a lot of resources out there for people, Laura.
There are, Kelly, and we're actually outside of the Bar Branch Public Library, which is a cooling center, but also Cool Down St. Louis is another huge resource helping prepare the most vulnerable people, for example, by giving them air conditioners. They can also help with utility bills if their power's been shut off so they can get their air running again. The St. Louis Fire Department helped install a window unit for a retired man after his 20-plus-year-old air conditioner broke down and couldn't be fixed. The fire department wants everyone to check on their elderly and disabled family and neighbors during this heat.
So some of the symptoms of heat exhaustion and or heat stroke are nausea, confusion. Obviously, we talk about heat stroke, we're talking about unconsciousness, but heat exhaustion, profuse sweating, elevated temperatures, core temperatures, things of that nature.
We have links on our website, ksdk.com, to not only Cool Down St. Louis, but where you can find a cooling center, maybe while you wait for that help from Cool Down St. Louis. And coming up tonight, I'll have more on the install for that elderly gentleman earlier today. Reporting live from downtown St. Louis, Laura Barcheski, 5 on your side.
And you can get the Weather First forecast set to your phone anytime. Just text the word weather to 314-425-5355. Right now, several agencies are testing near Boeing's wastewater treatment plant in North St. Louis County. It comes after chemicals spilled into Coldwater Creek.
The creek is already contaminated with nuclear waste dumped there decades ago during World War II. Our Justina Cornell looked into what happened. Justina?
Yeah, Mike and Kelly. So there was an alert for a potential release around 1:30 yesterday afternoon. This all happening at the Boeing Corporation near St. Louis Lambert Airport. 1,000 gallons of wastewater containing trivalent chromium or CR3 compounds got into Coldwater Creek. An on-scene coordinator with the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency arrived at the scene to test that water quality. Now, officials say Boeing was able to stop that release. Now, the Missouri Department of Natural Resources is also involved during their own tests, too. The CDC says CR3 can irritate the respiratory system when inhaled. While the EPA made the announcement this afternoon on social media, it was an environmental advocate that tipped us off first yesterday afternoon.
It was really important that the public know, and so that's why we reached out to you guys. It's a very simple ask. The public just wants to be kept up to date. If it's a minor spill, great. They're on it. Communicate that.
Results from the EPA are expected within 24 hours. Now, Boeing released a statement saying, in part, a small volume of wastewater was released and the cause of the release has been mitigated.
Thanks, Justina. Tonight, the New Haven community is mourning the loss of a firefighter killed in the line of duty. Firefighter Lloyd Rudiger died Monday from a heart attack after responding to a house fire Sunday. His visitation is happening right now through 7 p.m. at the Tatum and Gross Funeral Home. After visitation, there will be a procession. He will be laid to rest at St. Paul's Catholic Church in the town of Berger. That is tomorrow at 11 a.m. And Backstoppers is helping Rudiger's family. The nonprofit helps families of first responders who die in the line of duty or are seriously injured. And you can donate by texting the word Backstoppers to 314-425-5355.
The list of endorsements is growing for St. Louis County Prosecutor Wesley Bell's run for Missouri's U.S. Senate race. 10 St. Louis County mayors are now supporting him. Many of them are in North County. He's running for a chance to take on Senator Josh Hawley during next year's election, along with Democrat Lucas Kuntz, who lost a bid for the Senate race last year. The state has not elected a Democrat to the Senate since 2012 and has never elected a black man to a statewide office. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, will have more on the endorsements for Bell tonight at 6. Anheuser-Busch is rebranding itself. Today, the brewer announced a new advertising campaign.
It comes as the company tries to recover from a drop in sales after the fallout from a Bud Light campaign. 5 News 5's Travis Cummings is live from the brewery in St. Louis with more on the approach. Travis.
That's Who We Are is the name of that new campaign, Kelly and Mike, and it's pretty clear Anheuser-Busch is taking a more community-centered approach, really pushing to appeal to multiple facets of both its community and its company. Now, if you recall, the company Anheuser-Busch months ago, they partnered with transgender influencer and TikTok personality Dylan Mulvaney. That led to a boycott by some of its U.S. consumers. In the new campaign, you'll see farmers, brewery employees, delivery drivers, and servers. The company says there are 19 people from St. Louis in the ad. 75 people from here contributed to it. And analysts told us and our partners at the Business Journal that Bud Light sales declines may have reached their floor last month. We talked to UMSL's marketing department chair, Dr. Drake Perry, about the implications of this new ad.
It's kind of their way of, without saying it, of kind of saying, hey, we messed up here. This is really who we are. This is our core. This is the farmer. This is the producer. This is the distributor. These are the people that bottle. Whether that will resonate that way with the public, that's kind of how I see it, as their way of saying we screwed up. This is really who we are. Could they have maybe said that somehow? Probably.
Now, we did reach out to Anheuser-Busch to see if they could give us more information about the ad, if they would respond, if it's working. Now, coming up at 6, because we haven't heard from Anheuser-Busch, but I'm going to still check in with them. But coming up a little bit later, we're going to talk to Dr. Drake some more about what he thinks, as well as an LGBTQ+ organization, about their thoughts on the new ad. We're live in South City. Travis Cummings, 5 on your side.